A woman drops a dollar bill into his open guitar case. Jack comes back and grabs my arm just as I empty out the coins in my pocket. "What are you doing?" he asks. "I don't know," I shrug. He was really good. In spite of the bombardment of noises and smells, I memorize every turn, including 2 more lefts onto smaller streets, just in case I need to find my way back to the train station. "Where are you taking me?" I say at last. "Relax already, we're almost there," Jack says. One more turn and we walk down a narrow alley littered with scraps of wood and rusty pipes. A light shines down onto a big green dumpster at its end. "Home sweet home," says Jack. "What, you live in a dumpster?" "Behind it, prep boy. They're doing renovations on the 2nd floor, so it's full of construction stuff. You wouldn't believe what they throw away." Behind the dumpster, I see a lean-to shack made of broken slabs of wood and sheets of plastic, propped up against the brick wall like a crooked little fairy tale house. Jack goes over to the shack and pounds on a slab of cracked drywall that makes the roof. Colored beads hang from the front of the shack. Apparently, somebody tried to decorate. "Hey, Nessa, you home?" There's a rustling inside the shack, and a girl emerges from behind a ragged patchwork quilt serving as a door. Her hair is long and black, and she has heavy makeup smeared around her pale eyes. "Hey, Jack," Nessa slurs, either sleepy or wasted. "How'd it go tonight?" Nessa shakes her head and tugs at her huge gray sweatshirt. Not so good. Her legs are skinny, bird legs and thick black tights. She's probably 14 or 15 years old, but even with all that makeup, she looks like a little girl. She catches a glimpse of me, hovering there behind Jack. "Who are you?" she asks, looking me over with husky dog blue eyes. "I'm Hank." "Cool, you're cute," she says and gives me the sweet smile. Jack ducks into the shack, leaving Nessa and me standing there. I wish I knew how to turn the volume down on the sadness in this girl's eyes. I wish I could take her out of this dark, smelly alley and tuck her away someplace safe. Thanks," is all I can think of to say. "So are you." Brilliant. Jack comes out carrying 2 blankets and a pack of cigarettes. He offers me a thin wool blanket. It's gray, full of holes, and smells like mothballs and piss, but the night is chilly, so I take it, hoping it's not crawling with bugs or something. Wrapped up in the blankets, we lean back against the dumpster. Nessa nestles between us, and Jack hands her the cheeseburger he saved from our snack at the terminal. "Aw, thanks, sweetie," she says. "I'm starving." Hank bought it. "Then thank you, sweetie," she says to me, and I nod as if it were my idea, wishing it was. She chews the first bite with her eyes closed like it's a gourmet meal instead of a cold, greasy burger. I take the cigarette Jack offers, poke its tip in the flame of his lighter, and puff. Smoke in my lungs feels familiar. I must be a smoker then. We sit there for a while, just smoking together, and something inside me relaxes for the first time. "Check out the moon," Nessa says. It takes a moment to see it past the glaring lights of the city, but then, there it is, big and full, glowing orange like an omen. Good or bad, I wish I knew. I look at Nessa's pretty profile as she tilts her head to look at the sky. "It makes me think of this book I really liked when I was a little kid," she says, her voice quiet. "I think it was called Good Night Moon." Jack snorts. "Yeah, except out here it would go something like, good night junkies, good nights rats, good night dumpster, good night trash." Nessa smiles at him, but her voice is still dreamy. "Remember that book, Hank?" "Nope," I say. "You're kidding, right?" Jack says. "Every kid knows that book." I shake my head and take another drag of the cigarette. I don't remember. We smoke in silence for a bit, so quiet I can hear faraway sirens and the crackle of our cigarette paper burning down. "Mom used to read it out loud," Jack says, still looking up at the moon. "That was before she died and Dad stopped caring whether I went to school or not, or whether I was alive or dead. Until the day he came after me with a shovel, then I was pretty sure he wanted me dead." Jack gives me a sidelong look and this weird smirk. "Whatever, everybody out here has a story." Jack swipes at his face with the wool blanket. "So what's yours?" Nessa stands up and stretches. "Leave him alone. Can't you see he doesn't want to talk about it?" She rubs her eyes with fists like a sleepy child, further smearing her makeup. "I gotta sleep. Are you going to stay with us for a while, Hank?" "Maybe a little while," I say, though I have no idea. A part of me wants to stick around, like I have this crazy idea I can protect her. Nessa says goodnight and disappears into the shack. "Everybody has a story," Jack says, as if there'd been no interruption in our conversation. "No matter how bad it is, I guarantee I've heard it before." I doubt it. I stare up at the moon for a long time. Jack and Nessa have taken me in, the only friends I have on this planet. The night is gentle, holding its breath, and at least for this moment in time, I feel safe, so I decide to tell him. "My story is that I can't remember my story." "Say what?" "I don't remember anything." I lower my voice. "Not my name, not where I came from. I woke up at the train station a couple hours ago, just before I met you, and that's the first thing I can remember." "Seriously?" The glow of Jack's cigarette hovers motionless. "You mean like you've got amnesia?" Yeah, I say, I guess so. Wow. I mean, I know stuff. Like before I ate it, I knew cheeseburgers tasted good. I knew about money and train stations, that I live in the United States of America and speak English. I know general stuff about the world, but I don't remember anything, about myself. Jack purses his lips as he contemplates this news. That is so messed up, dude. Then his face twitches into a smile. I know. Recognizing the weirdness of my situation, I smile back. When Jack starts laughing, at first I'm a little pissed, but then his laugh is so damn contagious. I'm laughing too. Something in my chest feels lighter with the laughing. Sharing my secret makes it less scary somehow. So, Henry David isn't your name? Nope. I pull Walden out of my waistband and hold it up to show Jack. I just found this book next to me when I woke up, so I used the name of the guy who wrote it. Other than the clothes I'm wearing, it's the only thing I own. I think it might be a clue. Jack shrugs and takes a deep drag of his cigarette. Either that or some random person left it at the train station and you just happened to find it. My jaw clenches. No way, I say. It's a clue. Take it easy, he says. Okay, it's a clue. He stubs out his cigarette on the bottom of his sneaker. So, what are you gonna do? Go on national TV and be Amnesia Boy? The media loves that shit. You'll be famous by dinner time tomorrow. From far away, we hear a police siren. Just don't say anything about me, Jack says. I like to keep a low profile. Way low. Yeah, I think I need to do the same. Maybe you killed somebody. Keeping a low profile is about the only thing I'm sure of. That and the fact that I woke up with this book next to me. Therefore, it has to mean something. I touch the cover picture of pine trees at the edge of a lake. That's where I want to be. Okay, Hank, or whatever your name is, I need to check in on Nessa and crash for a couple hours. Grab some drywall and make yourself a little shelter. Cool? Cool. I'll be fine. Jack salutes, then disappears into the shack. He and Nessa whisper for a while. Then there are soft sounds that could be laughing or crying. After that, silence. Staring up at the moon, I try to feel sleepy. But now that I'm alone, my mind is racing and I'm wide awake with my heart hammering against my ribs. There are skittering sounds on the other side of the dumpster. Probably rats. The wind shifts, and even though the dumpster is mostly full of construction trash, I get a strong whiff of rotting food and random nastiness. I pull a huge plank of particle board out of a pile next to the dumpster, lean it against the back wall of the alley, and huddle underneath like it can keep me safe. I try to stop my hands from shaking. To calm my twitchy brain, I take a little internal inventory, try to piece together what I know about myself so far. Okay, so I'm a teenage guy, probably somewhere between 16 and 18 years old. Hair, black. Eyes, gray. Not bad looking either. There was only that quick glance in the men's room mirror, but I know that much. I like burgers and soda, and I might be a smoker, although that cigarette left a weird taste in my mouth that kind of makes me want to gag. I have a bump and a cut above my forehead that stings if I touch it. I get real fidgety around the cops. And there's a black beast inside of me that doesn't want me to know stuff. It guards my memory, clawing at my insides and going for my throat if I get too close. So why did the beast wake up when Jack said, maybe you killed somebody? Is that what it won't let me remember? The black thing in me surges again, and I feel a pounding headache coming on. Stop, I whisper. Go away. But it crouches there, waiting to creep closer so it can attack, now, while I'm alone and vulnerable. No. There's a light shining down from the side of the building, bright enough to read by. So I open my book, Walden by Henry David Thoreau, and that's what I do. This Thoreau guy wrote it in the mid-1800s, so the writing is a little weird for me at first. I have to read some paragraphs over a few times to figure out what he's trying to say, but then I start to get into it. Walden, as it turns out, is named after some pond in the woods in a town called Concord, Massachusetts. Henry David Thoreau was in his late 20s when he went there to get away from the world and live alone in a little cabin for a couple years. He listened to the birds, walked around to the pond, and just thought about stuff. Living off the grid, whatever grid there was in 1845. Instead of the stink of the alley and the echo of sirens and honking taxicabs, while I'm reading the book, it's actually like there's fresh air rustling leaves in a tree over my head. I hear the water and birds singing. Somehow I know this place in Henry's book. I can remember being outside like that in the woods near a lake. It's familiar in a way I feel to my bones. It's the closest feeling so far to home. Jack, you son of a bitch, get out of here! I lurch awake, and for a long blank moment I have no idea where I am or what woke me up. Walden lies next to me on the ground, where it fell when I went to sleep. There's a good dream lingering behind my eyes, and I grasp at it, but it vanishes before I can remember. My heart sinks when I realize where I am. The alley looks even dirtier and more depressing in the first white light of morning. Then I realize what woke me up. Some guy is shouting in the alley. Jack! There's a confused rustle inside Nessa's shack, and then Jack emerges, squinting in the morning light, hair sticking up all over his head.